Proper live.
like proper live, not just pretending to be live like we do for the podcast. We are properly live.
Feels a bit weird. Do you
What,
feel
me just,
different?
I don't know, not really. I don't know. I suppose I do a little bit. 'Cause the thing is, my concern, and I've had a concern about this for a while,
Go on.
is it goes live onto YouTube, and with your potty mouth, I haven't got the ability to put a bleep in there. So
I
if you're
won't
going to
do that to you.
swear, just put your finger up, and I'll go beep over your swear
I
word.
I won't do that to you. I promise. I
Okay.
promise. So what's weird for me is I'm talking to you and I'm actually watching it on YouTube.
How are you?
I can see us. It's a bit of a delay, but I can see us.
Yeah, there is a bit of a delay. There is a bit of a delay.
So we are, for anybody that is watching, because I can see that there are 7 people watching, which is more than I thought there would be.
I
So
can't see any of that.
so
Where
on
are you
YouTube,
all?
well, on YouTube, it's telling me that 7 people are watching. So if you are watching, identify yourself and say hello to us, and we will answer any questions that might come up on the YouTube chat. But we are waiting for a very special guest on this live, aren't we?
Yes, we are. We
Tell
should be
people who it is.
expecting. We should be expecting any moment now. I'm hoping Mr. Ken Rushton, friend to the show.
Friend to the show.
I can't see anybody in the live.
And Ken is the chairman of the North Staffordshire Roadrunning Association, and he's going to be talking to us all about yesterday's Crew 10K. So I can see that we have James Mitchell watching, Jace Dean, Leo Wheeler. Good afternoon. Good evening, even.
I'm gonna go onto YouTube while someone here and have a look because I can't see anything on this other
Oh,
side.
God.
I need to learn.
He's the producer, the editor, and he's got absolutely no idea.
I
So
haven't.
So we know that Leo, Jason, James, you all did crew yesterday. So hopefully we'll have Ken with us in a bit, and he'll tell us your placings in your groups. He might be able to give us that information, but Rob's the one that's got to wait for him to come in. Any idea?
No, I have texted him say
Oh,
just sent you the invite.
live.
I
It's
did tell
going
him half past
terrible. Whose
eight.
idea was it to go live?
It's fine. It's fine.
I get
We've
nervous when I go
we
live and
we can
things like this
talk.
happen.
We can talk about NSRRA until Mr. Rushton attends.
Okay, so whilst we're waiting for Ken, how did your race go?
Okay, I've been out injured for a little while
Yeah.
with a foot injury.
Mm.
Um, over the last couple of weeks, I suppose it's 3 weeks since I've injured myself, but I have been recovering, and it's better than it was, but
Yeah.
not 100%. Here's
Good.
Ken now. Thank you. He's here. I don't have to fill
Saved him.
anymore.
Saved
Yeah,
him.
Ken, we're live. We're live on YouTube. Please do not swear.
All right, Davina McCall. How you doing,
We
Ken?
are live.
How we
Hey,
doing?
good. How are you?
We're good, yeah, we're good, thanks.
We were just digging into Rob's Crew 10K race. So I'd asked Rob how was his race, but maybe you're better placed to tell us how Rob's performance was.
I think because he's been nursing this foot injury, I think he had, I think he had a decent run. I think really probably it was a more confidence thing because when you get injured, you're thinking, oh, can I finish or anything like that? And I think, now he finished and he felt okay. He can build on that. There's nothing worse than an injury that just disrupts your training. So no, I think as they say, the lad did good.
The
Thank you.
lad
Thank you,
did
Ken.
good.
I did
So
okay. I got 56.13, which isn't the best, which isn't the worst. I'm happy with it. Like I say, I think for me it was a confidence booster because I haven't ran for such a long time. It's taken a while for me to get back into the swing of things. And I think I've lost a bit of fitness because I haven't ran. And I think I probably pushed it a little bit more than I probably should have done. But then again, I don't know. Lord Trevor beat me. So he did really, really well. So Leo, if you're listening, you can let him know that I mentioned him on the live episode. But he beat me by quite a considerable distance. He got 48 minutes, I think it was. So I was saying on the podcast we've just done, which we recorded for Friday, even with 2 good feet, maybe even with 4 good feet, I don't think I would have beat him, because he is such a fast runner now. He's doing really, really well. So
He's an incredible runner, I think.
He
and
is.
he's got a we spoke about it, he's got a fantastic story, and he's not actually been running for that long, really.
No.
But he's doing really, really well. Leo Wheeler's just said, "You took the words out
know,
of my mouth."
Just seeing that. If you have got any questions, guys, so I know we've got 7 people in. We've got Leo, we've got James, we've got Jace, we've got Mikey. If anybody has got any questions, please let us know. So you've got us. You can ask us questions if you've got any questions for me or Ben. We've also got the font of all knowledge about local running, Mr. Rushton, with us.
So you can put Ken on the spot and ask him all the questions you want to know about North Staffs.
Yeah.
And
I can guarantee you what he'll have to do is he'll have to go, Sue, Sue, do you know the answer to this question?
Dig the stats out.
Yeah, you're not wrong. We've actually just been, funnily enough, we've just been sorting out a problem with North Staffs Roadrunner. So Matthew Bailey's just been sending me a message saying I've disappeared off the results completely, as in the tables. So we've had to delve down into it, and what we've done is we've given 2 people the same Roadrunners numbers, and new members joined, and it always just defaults to 1. So we've sorted it now, and it will be sorted. But it's just when you first get the question, I got the question off Matthew Bailey saying, as I've disappeared off the tables. You're thinking, hey, what's happened? So there's always little things that crop up, but we've sorted it.
Who's to blame for that, Ken?
Me. Totally. Me. It's my fault totally. I hold my hands up on that. Because Matthew Bailey was a member a few years ago, and when people haven't been members for a few years, we then sort of take a list of numbers that we can reallocate to new members. Matthew Bailey sent me a message, so I'm going to rejoin. This was just before All Sager. Is my old number 607 still available? And I said, I'll have a look. And I come back and said, yeah, you've got it. Didn't make a note of it. And then we've got these new members coming in. A lady called Rebecca McCarthy. And I just gave her 607. And then the Paul's database didn't like it and kicked Matthew out.
So what group is Matthew in?
Matthew is in E.
Oh, right. So that's okay for me then. I won't lose any more points.
Yeah,
Then.
no, Matthew.
I'd already got low points.
About himself.
Yeah, absolutely. Always, because I've got less points this time round than I ever have had. So I'm like, I don't want any more less points, if that makes sense.
I mean, it even further highlights, though, don't it, Ken? The fact that this is a team effort, North Staffs, and doing everything you do. It's a lot, isn't it? But you've got loads to think about. So again, it's just another reason to tilt the hat at you and say, well done, because, it's an operation that you are across. It's not all done by computers. You're doing all this yourself, right?
It is, but also it's like I said to, I've gone back to Matthew and told him everything, why it's happened, everything. But at the end, I've just said to Matthew, thank you for telling us, because if people don't tell us, it could be 3-4 races down the line before we find out.
Yeah.
But what about yourself yesterday, Ben, with your weighted vest? 42 points.
Yeah, I haven't actually looked where I finished, but I know I didn't. It wasn't my finest performance in Group D. I was happy with it because I put a really long walk in around about 16 miles and camped overnight on Friday, and I felt quite fatigued. I haven't ran in the vest since Rugeley, so it was a lot, and the weather was hot. And James Mitchell said on the chat that we couldn't have asked or wished for better weather yesterday. It was glorious. But for me, I think it was just, it's one of them. I've only ever done crew twice. The first time it was like running in a wind tunnel 2 years ago. And then yesterday it was quite hot. So I had to stop at 5K, have a drink and just readjust the vest. But I was happy with my finish. Yet another fantastic race in the calendar, in the fixtures. So overall, I was quite happy. And we've got some admiration coming your way from the live chat, Ken. So James Mitchell said it takes some amazing effort what you do running North Staffs, and he applauds it. Leo Wheeler, credit to all the NSRRA. I'm sure everyone will agree that it's much appreciated. So you're getting our first live, and you're getting all the love, Ken.
Yeah, we've got none.
I mean, you're saying I'm getting all the love, but we've actually got a really good backroom, team. I'm the one who comes on here and talks and everything like that.
Yeah.
But Sue looks after all the membership and looks after all the admin stuff and everything. Paul Clinton, which probably a lot of the runners now won't know because Paul doesn't run anymore. But Paul's the one who does, keeps the tables up to date, does a magnificent job. Craig Carpenter, who doesn't do a lot of the local races, he looks after the website. So we've just got this sort of cracking team, and in the background that everything just the wheels keep turning.
Yeah, and it's a machine that works really, really well because it keeps churning out these NSRRA dates in the diary for everybody, and I can't wait normally to get the results through from Paul, and it's so quick as well. So I know it only happened yesterday afternoon when we all finished, and the results came through this afternoon, even on a bank holiday. So it's really good credit to Paul as well.
And on that note, Ken, can you do us one of your? I know we're live. Please don't feel the pressure, but can you do us one of your fantastic recaps of standouts in the group, some good achievements, some positionings and standings for those that haven't seen it?
Leo Wheeler's already said he wanted to give you some grief
I
for
know.
beating you, but fair play for wearing the vest.
Yeah.
I think
Thanks, Leo.
if we look at Group A, I think the one that's come on the scene at the moment that
Tom Chell.
is Tom Chell.
Yeah.
Tom Chell's been running a few years. Started off at Stafford Harriers, joined City of Stoke. I think he's getting some advice from John Danahay as well, and he's got 50 points in both races. So I think Group A, Tom Chal, but you never write Carl Moulton off. I think if you look at Group B, I think Group B is really, really interesting because you've got Tom Young and James Taylor, brother-in-laws, and
are they?
Lee Matthews, and also the youngster who's only 17 from Newcastle, Sam Mensing. So I think Group B, as we move through the season and get some of the longer races in, I think it's going to be, sort of fascinating. Group C, once again, Darren Mottram, Martin Cooper, Michael Griffiths from Newcastle, all of them, sort of running really well. Group D again, it's varying who's winning each one. So Chris Wedgray from Congleton, who I think he did the interview with at All Sager, he won there. And then since then we've had Scott Zickmanis winning at Rugeley, and Scott won yesterday. So interested in D.
That's interesting though, because if you look at Scott, he got 34 points at All Sager, but the last two he's won. So he's proper stepped up, hasn't he?
Yeah. I think over the last few years, Scott's had a few problems with being able to train consistently, and I think that's been the problem. As he's had a block of training, got injured. We've all been through those cycles, and I think at the moment, I think that he's getting a real good block of training in.
I think this is the thing.
He's a good athlete when he's when he's fit, but I think he just has to if you like, temper his training so that he doesn't get injured.
I think this is the
Um,
thing with the league format, isn't it? Like, because you've got that many races and they do start coming a bit thicker and faster now, you're in a position where if you pick up a good bit of form and your early season training starts to pay off, it really can be very unpredictable. But to the same extent, you might always see somebody that comes through and continues that form on, stays injury free, and actually pushes on. Because I think it was 2 seasons ago, I think Izzy Shaw did something similar in the ladies. She sort of got stronger and stronger as the season went on. And I think that's something we can see quite often, isn't it?
yeah, it is. But carrying on moving down the groups, I think Rob Massey from Utoxeter Roadrunners, he's won all three at the moment. It'll be interesting to see if he runs, his own club's race, Utoxeter half, and just to see if he does, if he's still as dominant, in the longer distance.
Yeah.
Group G,
Group E is looking interesting as well, isn't it? Because you've got Chris Allsworth, who's at the top, who went up last year from my group.
Yeah.
He's topping the table with 50 points yesterday, so he's doing really well.
He is, and if you look at Chris, as that he's getting some sort of form because his points are going up. So it was 45 at All Sager, 48 at Rudesley, and 50 yesterday.
Yeah.
So
he's
very
doing
interesting.
really well.
Ken, just a quick question, a couple of quick questions coming from the live chat. Jonathan Wright, who's joining us, evening, Jonathan.
He's in Group E as well.
He's asking, where can the updated NSRRA standings be found?
What does he mean?
I think he means if Paul, because Paul is the person who emails them out to everybody. If you've ran the race, you get an email the next day or the next day after that. So if you aren't getting that, Jonathan, I would have probably advised speaking to Ken. Probably email you, Ken. Would that be best?
Yeah, and I'll send me a direct message, and then I'll give you Paul's email, and he'll put you on the mailing list. That's how it works.
Yeah.
The tables will go on our website tomorrow night. Craig's been in touch today, so they'll go on tomorrow night. But if you want them going out immediately, drop me a direct message, and I'll give you Paul's email address.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
And
we'll save Leo's until we've gone through all the leagues.
Yeah, we'll save Leo. So, Leo, you've got to watch to the end,
so
mate.
if we we'll look at Group G. Once again, we've got a few different winners. We've got Christopher Wood, who's got a 48.50, and he got a 49 yesterday. Chris Morton got 50 at All Sage, 50 at yesterday. Rob Keithley from Nantwich, 49, 49, 48. So once again, close there. Moving into Al Group, the disappointment at the moment is George is injured.
Yeah, I saw George yesterday. She was there, wasn't she, yesterday?
She's picked up this injury, and at the moment she's having treatment, but they can't get to the bottom of it. So she's struggling at the moment, and she says she's running a little bit, but I saw her just having a little run yesterday when Sarah Taylor was warming up, and you can see she's limping. So it's disappointing with Georgia, but
well soon,
dominates
Georgia.
at the moment. Amanda Cali.
Yeah, she's there again.
Yeah, she is. Amanda running. Brilliant.
It was interesting. Amanda, she never likes to get the praise. I said to her at the end, how'd you get on? I managed to beat myself, she said. So I think that's all she focuses on, is beating herself, and that's a good way to look at it.
It is, yeah. I think Amanda is turning into a very, very consistent athlete.
Yeah.
We look at the man, and we always talk about Carl Malton. That's how consistent he is, and even though he's that 45 now, he's still putting in these fantastic, consistent performances. And I think we can start talking about Amanda. The same for the last 3 or 4 years as she is. She's just consistently, there and putting in good performances.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we move on to M Group,
I didn't put Amanda's form down to Amanda. I put it down to James Tutton. or husband or a partner. It's nothing to do with Amanda. If you're listening,
Nothing
Amanda,
to
it's
do
all
with-
to do with
Yeah,
James.
nothing to do with that.
I am only
Moving
kidding.
on to M Group, we've got Holly McIntosh, who's a new member, joined us as Stowmaster Marathoners. She's up there at the moment, but we've got Carrie Dyer, member of quite a number of years ago, rejoined us. Carrie's always been a classy runner. Melissa Salmon from Silverdale, and one of the youngsters who got promoted last year, Caitlin Taylor, who's setting up there quite pretty. So Group M looking good. Group W, we've got different people, winning. So we had Lucy Baxon from Audley won at All Sager, Carly Chorner won at Rudesley, and then Hayley Biggs won yesterday. So 3 different winners. So I can see the top of that starting to look good. Julianne Cattle at the top of the league at the moment, consistent,
The Kettle.
48, 49, and 48. So
She's doing
Julianne
well.
from Silverdale.
So Julianne's switched, hasn't she, from Newcastle to Silverdale, so she's earning Silverdale points now.
Yeah.
But Carly Chorner, I know that she wasn't there because she's running Manchester Marathon next Sunday. Well, it's Sunday coming, but I think she'll be back. She's doing really well as well with the
Just
running.
on that note, Ken, was there anything said about the numbers attendance due to the 2 marathons next week, Manchester and London? Do we know if that's impacted it at all, or
Is this for crew?
Yeah.
Yeah.
in
No,
terms of
it was a sellout. It was
Yeah.
sold out probably 3 weeks before, 350.
Yeah.
151 North Sash Road runners ran it. So there's going to be some that I mean, I know definitely, Jo Stanfield didn't run it because she's at London. And I know there'll be a few that probably didn't, but no, it didn't really impact the numbers, at all.
Yeah, good. Good.
Carrying on down the league, so if we look at Group X, and this is looking good again because Emily Sharp got 50 points from South Cheshire at All Sager. Olivia Brazier from Go Team, she got 50 points at Rugeley. And then yesterday, Lauren Ford, Stowmaster Marathoners, her first North Sash Road Runners race. So that's they're all going to be interesting as we pan out through the year. We go into Group Y, similar sort of thing there. The Rachel Harper North Sash Road Runners got 50 at All Sager. Joe Darlington, South Cheshire, 50 at Rugeley. And yesterday it was Nick Shrub. She's unattached, so 3 different winners there. And then we go to Group Z, and the same things happened again. So Alla Ridgway, she got the 50 at All Sager. Tony Collier, 40 runs, 50 at Rugeley. And Emma Shuker, Stowmaster Marathoners, 50 yesterday. So I think as the season goes on and we start to see things, sort of unfolding, it's going to be really interesting.
Silly Toe, did you just boo 40 runs then?
No.
You forgot you were alive, didn't you?
No.
Move on.
I wasn't booing the runner. It wasn't booing Tony Collier. I was booing 40 runs. So we have had a question.
Episode.
Yeah, that's actually a new club that's actually joined North Sash Road Runners. It is nice to have some of the the clubs that haven't been part of it before.
I'm going to put
that
down
to
yours, Ken.
So it is a big
is
club,
good.
isn't it? It is a big club.
It is a big club, yeah. But it is just nice for to have these new clubs because they can just go back to the mates and say, oh, have you heard about North Sash Road Runners? We've got a couple of them. Yeah, we've got Matt Thompson. He's joined us from 40 runs. Lloyd Fox. So there's a few of them that have joined us.
Yeah, we have had a question actually from Leo. Anyone looking like they are in the wrong groups? Any early moves? I know there was a couple of people moved around after Ulsager, weren't they? Is there any more moving that you want to?
I don't
they
think
need?
at the moment, because it's quite competitive. I think it's more really that if anybody thinks they're in the wrong group that need to be dropped down, just give us
Me?
a shout
Can I
and
go down into Group
we'll
G?
No, you just need your foot better.
Yeah, true.
But no, seriously, is that if anybody thinks that you thinks that they're in too high a group, just give us a shout and and we will have a look at at regrouping you and if you do move into another group, as any points that you've got will be recalculated as if you were in that group from the from the start.
Yeah. Yeah. Leo Wheeler says, "Can I go back to E, please?" He's not doing too bad in Group D. He's doing all right in Group D.
Leo, the way you sprinted past me, mate, and you're in Group D, don't start asking to go down to E. Come on.
He's only ran one race yet, so
Yeah, 44
he would
points.
need 44 points. He would need to do a few more. Did Leo get promoted last year?
Yeah, he was in Group F
Yeah.
last year with
So
me.
right. So
No, Group E, sorry. He went up to Group D, sorry.
yeah, yeah. But and that's one rule that we've got is anybody who's promoted has to stay in the new group for at least one season.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
if you're
Hey.
promoted, you can't go. You've got to stay in that new group for at least one season.
And
James
that's
Mitchell
fair.
said. James Mitchell says Rob needs to come into E with me. Absolutely not. I can't. I'm not a chance of my moving. Only if I get a promotion, which is very unlikely. And then we've had a question from Mick Williams. How's Sally after her fall? So we have mentioned this on the podcast that we just recorded. Actually, we had an update from Leo. Funnily enough, who's on the live as well. He was saying that news hot off the press. I don't know if you heard one of our runners, Sally. I'm sure, probably sure you're aware, Ken.
Yes.
Sally
Yeah.
Aldridge took a nasty fall yesterday at Crewe. She's taken to A&E with head injuries and some nasty cuts. After spending the night in hospital, we can breathe a sigh of relief that most of the injuries are superficial. However, she did have a small bleed on the brain. She's now home catching up on some well-earned rest. Needless to say, everyone at the Silverdale sends our love to her. Would appreciate if you could give her a shout out and let the listeners know she's on the mend. Big thanks to those who asked after her too. Another example that the running community really is the best in the land. So again, from us, from Accounts to Coach, I'm sure Ken will
Yep.
echo the thoughts,
Yeah.
our thoughts for you,
Yeah.
Sally.
Yeah, exactly the same from everyone at North Staffs Road Runners. I was kept up to date of everything what was happening. I have messaged Sally myself, and as I say, exactly the update you've got. And as I say, Sally's back home now. She's just got to rest for a little while. But yeah. Also, as well, this just shows the camaraderie. She actually fell about half a kilometre from the finish,
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
and Elaine Statham was the first. It was actually quite close to Elaine Statham actually stopped and saw that she was all right until the first aid come. Come to her. So it does just show the camaraderie within North Staffs Road Runners.
Am I right in thinking that somebody fell at Crewe 10K last year as well?
Oh, we've had. I don't know what it is about Crew 10K. So for the last 2 years, is
Yeah.
that Pat Bentley, who runs for Trent, she fell
Yeah.
both years, and that was
Right.
in the wooded section.
Okay.
And yesterday, when she come into the finish yesterday, she was actually in a little bit of a distress. I don't know whether the heat had got to her, but myself and Sue being on the finish line, most of the races, we can actually spot if somebody's in trouble coming. You can just tell from the running style. And as soon as we spotted Pat, we knew that there was something wrong. We called first aid and we got first aid on the line straight away, looking after her. Pat was fine. Let her sit down for 10 minutes. I think there was just a bit of maybe dehydration or a little bit overheating, but she
Yeah.
was fine. So she didn't fall this year, but she's had a hat trick of not doing so well at Crewe.
I mean, it is a tricky one because the weather was quite deceiving yesterday.
Yeah.
It was very hot towards the the mid to the end of the race, and that's one of those things, isn't it? Is it true that they're moving the route? Is that right? Or talking of moving the route?
I don't think it's definite yet. I think they just want to finalise things because I've been talking to John Putt, the race director, for sort of around about 12 months about about this and sort of because if they do go onto this new route, it'll be into the traffic management sort of things with closed roads and everything. So I've sort of been pointing them in the right direction of who to
Yeah.
speak to and so on and so forth. And then I spoke to him after we'd all finished yesterday, and he said they were going to have a meeting and a debrief, and we will get some sort of announcement soon.
Because it is an enjoyable run in what it offers, like a 2-lap course, and I think it does lend itself well. It's quite a it's not a slow course. It's quite fast if you get the weather on your side. So I think it's one of those. I think people will be interested to see what does happen to it.
Mm.
What's next for the North Staffs then, Ken? What's coming up? Utoxeter's
So
next, I think.
yeah, so Eutoxitus the next one, May the 11th. Rob, just close your ears. This is the first one where we give the group mugs out.
Are you
So
saying
group
he's not got a
mugs,
chance?
yeah.
As like I've said before, even with 4 feet, I wouldn't
he,
stand a chance.
has got a poorly foot. He's got a poorly foot, man.
I
Yeah,
love the fact that you avoided that
we can
question,
use the
Ken.
poorly foot related
I
answer.
haven't got a chance. If you look at Group F, the runners in there. The first time I joined Group F, I was getting thirds and seconds, and I only did about 4 races towards the end. Last year, I got absolutely battered by everybody, and I think the highest I came was like 6th. And this year, I haven't even got into the 40s yet with points, so there's no chance of me winning a mug.
I love how Ken says, "Oh, he's got a poorly foot."
So yeah, so
Thanks,
so
Kev,
we've
for
got
sticking up for me.
yeah we've got your Toxic to half next on May the 11th. Entries closed for that one on May the 8th.
Still
So
spaces left. Many spaces left. Do we know?
yeah, we're all right. We're all right on
Yeah.
that because I think they've got sort of round about 500 550 limit, so we're okay on that. I think they're about 400 on that at the moment. That includes the numbers in the 10k. We then moved to the first midweek race, Clayton 10k. That's
That's
got a
2 days before my birthday. That is. So if I do
2
come to
days
that,
before your birthday, right?
if I do
So,
come, I want cake.
well, there's always plenty of cake at Clayton.
Or is
They've
it?
got Blythebridge. Have got some amazing
Ben's thinking,
bakers
is
there.
Sue's cake going me there?
Paradise
Yeah,
slice going
no,
there.
Stu's
I
cake
knew
isn't
it.
going to be there, but I can assure you that there's some great bakers in Blythebridge.
Ken, can
Couple
Sue
of
hear
things.
this
Couple of things with
conversation?
Clayton is that if you they do with Clayton, you have a choice. You can either pay a cheaper entry fee and get no medal,
Yeah, I've
or
seen that.
pay the full price and get the medal. If you want the medal, today is the last day to enter. After that, it's a no no medal. So if you like your blingy medals and everything, you need to go onto our website. The link's there and enter there. And the other news about Clayton. So you've both ran it before, and you know where the start and finish used to be on the grassy area.
Yeah.
Well, Newcastle Borough Council have made a decision that that's going to be one of these no-mow areas, to help with the wildlife and everything. So the start and finish has been moved across the road to another grassy area, and the bad news is there's now an uphill finish. So that's the bad news. But the good news is where you used to go up to the roundabout 3 times that the climb, that's out of it. So I
Okay.
think one actually cancels out the other. So they've had it remeasured, and I think it's going to be good. That's one that always sells out. I think there's about 130 places left. So don't leave that one too late. And then we'll move on to 1st of June. And that's the Stowmaster Marathon as well, Westbridge 5,
That's a
which
good
goes
one.
out along the canal. That's going to be a sellout. When I looked this morning, there was 63 places left. So anybody listening to this or pass the news on, I did put something on our Facebook page this morning about it. But yeah, Westbridge will be a sellout.
There you go.
Fantastic. Insightful as ever, Ken. It's
Yeah.
brilliant. This is why we like getting you on, because you give us all the top news, the spoilers, the information, the inside information.
Well, Leo was asking about the start finish for Clayton, so you've read his
Yeah.
mind.
Really.
Yeah,
K-Con
so, yeah,
Rob,
so
go on. Sorry, Ken. Go on.
yeah, start and finish. So where the grass area was by where the shops and the library were, it's actually right opposite. There's another grassy area right opposite the library. You start on there and you go up and then you join Seabridge Lane. And when you come back to finish, you finish at the top of that grassy area near to where the children's play park is.
Cool. And Leo also said, Ben, we got beat by Group F yesterday. So clearly that person, whoever beat Group D runners, shouldn't really be in Group F. I'm not the grass. It's not me. If anybody's listening, is that person, Leo Wheeler is the person to speak to, not me. He's looking, see. Well done, Leo. That might increase my points.
I mean, technically, Leo, you beat a Group B runner yesterday because I'm handicapped by a vest.
Oh, here we go. I was waiting for the excuses to start with this weighted vest. I was waiting for him to see how long it takes.
If you want to go down that route, Leo, like, you did well to beat a Group B runner yesterday. Whilst Ken's looking at that,
just looking at that, but
just cause someone to get relegated.
It doesn't make any difference to Leo. Leo's going nowhere. He got promoted, so
Leo, you can keep asking, mate, but you're staying where you are.
That person that beat you in Group F is now going to be in Group D. He's going to be racing against you. You've just done it yourself.
I think Leo needs to cherish yesterday because I had an off day yesterday. So we'll see what happens. But Utoxeter, I've got bad memories of Utoxeter because last year Rob tricked me into going full out racing after having 4 pints the night before. I'm not drinking now, so that's not happening. And Amanda Kelly is giving me PTSD. For 6 miles, she chased after me, shouting, "Come on, Ben, you're slacking, you're slacking." And then she went past me and continued to shout at me for another mile from in front of me. So I'm gunning for Amanda Kelly this time.
Utoxeter, that's another one that's had a slight change of course. It has been remeasured. So where you used to come back into the race course and do the dog leg, that's gone now. So as you come into the race course, you come straight into the finish.
That's so much better. That dog leg, just because you see the finish line, you're like, yes, and then you go, oh no, I've got to go around here. You have to go around a little. It's only a little bit, but it does kill you towards the end. And Leo Wheeler, well, the last comment we'll have from Leo Wheeler, because we're going to wrap it up any minute now, is you did have an off day. You were flying away on the first lap. And also Mick Williams says, I think I got beat by 4 70-year-olds yesterday. Join the club, Mick. Join the club.
I was not all the time.
Yeah, it happens to me every single time I run NSRRA. But yeah, thank you very much, Ken. We will get you back on probably after Westbridge in June, maybe.
Then
we'll get you back.
We can have a good update on everything. What's happening.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed your foot gets itself sorted and get back to some decent fitness.
Yeah.
What's next for you, Ben? Where are you next?
To be honest, I haven't thought.
Utoxeter.
I think it will be Utoxeter. That's what I'm thinking, because I did really enjoy Utoxeter last year. It's a really,
we're doing Snowdon
nice
actually.
race.
Snowdon's the first.
So we're going to do Snowdon.
3rd of May.
I think it will be Utoxeter. And then just trying to ramp up the mileage for Titisworth, really. But I think this is why Utoxeter's quite good, because it's got the hills, it's half marathon, and it'll be a good one wearing the vest to have a bit of a nice run. And I really enjoyed it last year. So, yeah, well, that'll be me, I think.
Okay, I will see you there then.
So
Fantastic.
thank you very much, Ken. Thank you for the people that stayed with us for the live. This will be a weekly occurrence now, a similar time, 8:30-ish. We will be doing a live episode. We will let you know if anything different. Please go and sign up to our emailing list,
Yeah.
and you will get notified, and you will have the link sent to you as well. And then Mick Williams, last comment. The lady winner was only 57 seconds off beating all the men. Amazing running. Is that true?
Yeah, new course record. Yeah,
Wow.
cracking run from Katie.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for that, Mick. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, right, that's it. Thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you next week.
Thanks all for
Yeah.
watching. We'll see you soon. Don't forget to sign up, and you can watch all the future lives.
See you soon.